Y'all, I know this is the time that Wellness with Food Mama come on. I'm gonna have to go back and check her replay, cause y'all know how I am about my people. So, however, I accepted a challenge, and in this challenge, all this week, I have to go live every day. She's doing a 50 soft challenge, and if you want to participate in the challenge, just let her know in the comments that you are locked in, you are down for the challenge. And to me, it seems pretty simple until you start thinking about, like, am I gonna feel like going live all day? I mean, not all day, but every day. Y'all want to give it a try and see how this goes. So this was the only time that I could do a live without being interrupted. So I do apologize to my sister over there, Wellness with Frugal Mama. I will go back and check her replay most definitely. Good morning, good morning. Glad to see you in the chat. Glad to see you this morning. So I joined this challenge. Y'all know I love a good challenge. Candy K all day brought up a 50 soft challenge, and I'm in. It's only for 1 week, and I feel like I could do a week. So I brought my stepper out here. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm starting at, ooh, if y'all can see it, I'm starting at 0 steps, and I'm gonna see what I can do, y'all. But I'm supposed to go live every day. But I wanted to talk to y'all. Y'all know I'm gonna talk. So I wanted to talk to y'all real quick about something that I grew up with, a saying that I grew up with. And I think it's important to share that saying today. So I like to start out slow to make sure I'm balanced good. So I grew up with the saying, your slip is showing. And I'm a country girl, y'all. I grew up in the South, so we got a lot of little sayings here and there that some people may not understand, or they may feel like, oh, I've heard that before, or something like that. So one of the sayings I grew up with is, your slip is showing, or your slip is starting to show. And some people that may not understand, some women that may not understand, they might go to looking down. People don't wear slips anymore, really, but if they do or if they have, they might start looking down thinking something is hanging out of their clothes or something is going on with the wardrobe, start fixing themselves. But actually, that's not what it means. In the South, when an elder tells you your slip is starting to show or your slip is showing, that means that whatever it is you was trying to hide, thank y'all, whatever it is you was trying to hide is starting to come to light. That means that mask that you had on is starting to slip. So the elders would try to warn you, like, all right now, the real you starting to show. They basically telling you watch yourself, or sometimes they would be telling you, um, when they say it, they would say it in a way like I peep you. I peep your game. I peep what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to manipulate them, or you're trying to scam them or something, they'll say, all right, now your slip's starting to show. So when I was growing up, we used to wear slips. We would wear undergarments to cover, especially if we had on white. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So especially if we had on white, we would wear something that would make sure you can't see through. You can't see everything. So some people would look down, like I said, and they'll be like, what you mean my slip is starting to show? That ain't what they mean. If you got a country elder, a female especially, Men will normally say like, your man slipping. But the elders, especially in the church, the women, they'll say, all right now, baby, the slip is starting to show. You want to looking down. No, they talking about what you was trying to cover, what you was trying to hide. It's starting to show. The real you is starting to come out. And sometimes, like my grandmama would tell me, if you stay real all the time, you ain't got nothing to hide. If you stay true to yourself from day one, you don't have to worry about anybody trying to call you out or anybody trying to let you know that your slip is showing, because you've been real the whole time. You've been honest with yourself the whole time. You've been honest with the people around you the whole time. So I grew up with the type of grandmama that wanted me to be genuine in my love, wanted me to be genuine in how I feel. If something hurt me, she wanted to hear, she wanted to know. What ails you, baby? That's just how I grew up. I know some people like, what? But that's what she would say to me. What ails you? What ails you, baby? So what's making you ill? What's making you out of character? What's making you feel sick? What ails you? What's the problem? And she wanted me to be honest with her. That's all they wanted was honesty. But if you was dishonest and you wore that mask for a while and you was fake about it, eventually an elder will call you out and say, your slip is starting to show. Everything you was trying to hide, y'all, I'm at 288, but I gotta rest my legs. They'll say, everything you was trying to hide is coming to light. So that could be with any situation. That can be, since I'm always talking about when I grew up in the church, that can be with church folks. You got some folks that can read scripture, pray, talk the talk, walk the walk, and then let something happen. Or they let them demons come out. Them demons start showing themselves. They used to say things like, I lay my Bible down, come back and pick it up. Lay my religion down, come back and pick it up. So my grandmother was the type where she would have us to appreciate the inner fighter within us, so that way can't nobody come back and use it against us later. Well, I thought you was this and I thought you was that. My grandmama said, you gotta let people know from the jump. Now I'm a fighter. Don't get me wrong. She'll tell me, that's what you tell me. You let them know so that way later on they can't come back and say, she out there fighting and she's supposed to be this or she's supposed to be that. But one thing she always told me, one thing she always said, if you're gonna fight, make sure you fighting a good fight. Make sure you fighting something that's worth it. Make sure if something happened and you get caught up, make sure it was worth it. You don't want to get caught up and out there fighting over something simple, something basic. She said, but if you're going to be a fighter, baby, she said, because you come from a fighting family. If you're going to be a fighter, you got to fight for something that's worth it. You got to fight for your respect, your dignity. If you have morals and you got somebody trying to talk you into doing something that's out of your morals, out of character. And she said they could talk all they want to, say all they want to. They put their hands on you, you better let them know. Now I warned you, I'm a fighter. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I grew up with a grandma that would check me in a minute. I'm at 400 steps, y'all. I grandma that would check me in a minute. And she would check anybody around her. The slip is starting to show. And that came to me last night that came to me last night. I said, Dog, I remember my mama Emma. That's what we called her. My mama Emma would say, watch out, baby, your slip's starting to show. And she'll say it kind of fast. So like I said, some people be looking down like, well, what's wrong? What's going on? No, my mama was trying to catch you and let you know, like, all right now, you starting to act the way you've been wanting to act. All the other stuff was fake. It was a facade. I told y'all in the other live, people don't realize that the enemy, thank y'all for the hearts, the enemy knows the Bible too. The enemy will try to use the word against you if you don't know the word for yourself. And the enemy will try to use those words to persuade you to do what they doing or to live how they live. If you got your morals intact, and even if you're not a Christian or whatever the case may be, or Israelite, whatever, if you got your morals intact and you're comfortable with who you are, and you have no problem with anybody saying, oh, but you used to do this and you used to do that, or you used to live like this, you used to live like that, and baby, the devil don't like that. The enemy don't like that. Be true to yourself. It took me years and years to embrace the fact that I'm a little weird. I used to always try to walk on eggshells around people and try to be correct in my mannerism because people were so offended by everything I said. I could say, good morning, and they'll be like, you're talking about a good morning, it's not a good morning. Or they'll say something like, you're not supposed to say morning, you're supposed to say something else. But now it's everything. Everything bothers people these days. But as I got a little older, I realized it's better for me to be myself and be real than for later on somebody to call my card, pull my card and say, your slip is showing. I'm going to tell y'all up front, I'm weird, I'm a nerd, my words may not always come out correct, I may not have the right way of saying things in a certain moment, but I accept that about myself. One thing I can say about me is I have learned to love who I am. I have learned to love my quirkiness. I have learned to love my passion for nature. I'm no longer hiding. I'm not going to cover up the fact that I've lived most of my life trying to please other people, trying to pacify other people. Sometimes you get around people and you're talking and it's like they don't hear you or they're not really caring about what you're saying unless you're agreeing with them. Unless you come in agreement with whatever they're trying to put onto you. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. You keep your morals in your pocket. You keep your self-love in your pocket. Don't let nobody pull you out of character. Don't let nobody persuade you that their way of living is the best way of living. Sometimes your morals and your love, your passion is what can save your life. You loving yourself and you staying true to yourself can save your life. And I'm real when I say that. So let it come a time when an elder has to tell you your slip is starting to show. Learn what you love about yourself and love the parts of yourself where you feel like I need a little work on that. I need a little work on that. I need to start thinking first before I react. Learn how to love every part of you before you allow somebody else to teach you how to hate yourself. Your slip is starting to show. When it gets to the point where you're sitting around people and you never hear them speak positive, you have to evaluate that because they slip is starting to show. When you're around people that want to destiny swap with you, they see you're into something, so they want to do it just because you do it. They see you growing your hair a certain type of way, so now they want to grow their hair the same exact type of way. Takers. Their slip is starting to show. When you're around people that's always saying what they won't do, and then you look at the people that they're talking about and it's like, what? I would never do this. I would never do that. But that's probably why God didn't give it to you. Or if he gave it to you, did you fumble the ball? I'm talking to somebody. When the Most High gave you your blessing, what did you do with it? Did you work with it? Or did you hold tight to it? Did you use it? Or did you just throw it away? Your slip is starting to show. You can think you slick. You can think you're a magician. But, like they say, you can fool some of the people some of the times. But you can't fool all the people all the time. Your slip is starting to show. The smiling, the grinning. But what I've noticed is some people that do the smiling and the grinning, if you pay close attention, the smiling and the grinning only comes when you're in agreement with what they're saying or what they're trying to manipulate you into doing for them. That's when the smiling and grinning comes. Mess around and say something that you don't do or that you don't believe in. No matter what your religion is, watch how the smile changes either into a frown or into a forced smile. Oh, that's a forced smile. That's when their slip is starting to show. Pay attention. Pay attention when you're around people and their slip is starting to show. That doesn't mean necessarily, wipe them out your life or whatever the case may be. My grandmother, she was a corrector. And when she would let you know, baby, your slip is starting to show, she wouldn't leave it there. She'll check on you from time to time. If she's sitting in church and don't feel like getting up and walking to you, she'll call you over there to her in the motherboard section. And she'll tell you to sit beside her. She'll just pat your leg. You all right, baby? This is the same woman that corrected you and let you know that your slip was starting to show. She'll say, everything that you hide eventually has to come to light. So always be real with yourself. And if you feel like you got to hate on somebody else's situation, do self-inventory first. There used to be a song when I was growing up where they said, do self-inventory. That was a church song. I gotta look it up when I get off here. I'm pretty sure Minister Terry Jones, he probably know it. He know all the good old songs. But self-inventory. You have to look at yourself and ask yourself, did I say that out of love? Or did I say that out of hate? Or did I say that to be funny? How did the other person feel when I said it? The slip is starting to show. When you have to tell people, I'm positive, I'm a positive person. And then you turn around and backbiting people, talking bad about people in their situation, finding and nitpicking in their life's journey. Be careful, because your slip is starting to show. Be very careful. Because your slip is starting to show. And that's what I grew up on with my mama Emma. I know y'all like to hear stories about when I was growing up. So I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but that's 1,000 steps. Let me see. Can y'all see that? So I appreciate y'all for listening to me rant about my mama Emma. Please give it a thumbs up. I know y'all like to hear stories about my daddy. But if you want to hear some more stories about my mama Emma, she is no longer with us. And I miss her every day, as you can tell. I'm a grandparents girl. I grew up around my grandparents. My parents didn't force me to be. I just wanted to be, around my grandparents. So I'm not even gonna lie on my parents and be like, oh, they left me with my my grandparents. No, I used to ask to go be with my grandparents. Don't know why. They didn't do anything special. They didn't take us to no expensive parks or nothing like that. They didn't take us on any rides or whatever. Just simple stuff. Playing on the tractor. Climbing the trees. Climbing fences. Chasing chickens. Grabbing them for my granddaddy. Watch him out there smoking his cigar and had the rabbits hanging up over the fire. And him just subtly telling us things that I didn't know I was going to be using today. He would just subtly tell us things like, well, God, that's how you going to skin it. How you think the skin going to come out? Well, you got to take the hide out. He would say little things like that instead of be smoking his cigar. And he was a man of many trades. So, like I said, my mama Emma, she was a praying woman. And I miss her every day. When I lost her, it was like I lost a piece of me. So if y'all want to hear more about my mama Emma, you know what? If you want to hear more about my mama Emma, put an 8 in the chat. Put an 8 in the chat. Hey, good morning, good morning. My grandparents meant the world to me. And no, I'm not crying, I'm sweating. My grandparents meant the world to me. And they gave me a lot of nuggets that I use today. A lot of nuggets that I use today. Even when it comes to being out here growing out in the yard. My other granddad from my mom's side, he's no longer with us also, but he taught me a lot about gardening. Thank you, I will. He taught me a lot about gardening, and it ain't like he took me out there and was like, you got to learn how to do this, you got to do that, It's just every once in a while he would say, now look at that, look at that leaf right there, see that right there, that's that powdered mildew, that what you don't want. Or either he'll go out there and say, Now, girl, I'm gonna need you to pull your shirt up because there's some stuff out here need to be harvested, and I ain't bring nothing with me. So we'll be walking back up to my grandmama with a shirt full of squash and peppers. And we'll be walking up to the house like this, and then just go to the kitchen table and just roll it out. So my grandparents had a lot to do with my upbringing. You wish you knew your grandmother? Oh man, it was. And see, that's what I be telling people. It's like sometimes you don't know everybody's story, so it's like the things that I had in my life, I have learned to appreciate. I have learned to just love how I grew up. I didn't grow up with the biggest and the best, and I'm not, as y'all can see, I'm not a materialistic person at all. But I grew up a country girl for real. Like some people that say, I'm so country, but uh, you can't tell it. With me, I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but I'm very country. Like I don't have to have high price things, expensive things, or whatever. I'm gonna make it work with what I got. Even out here in the yard, I'm gonna make it work with what I got. I'm gonna try to use all the material that I have, and that's giving all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yah. Because if I didn't have Yah in my life, I don't think I could have pulled none of this off. I don't think I could have pulled none of this off because I always have been a sickling. I always have been a sick girl, but I've always had to just be tough. I was sick all the time, but I had to be tough. So my grandparents are the ones that put that in me. And I hate that you didn't know your grandmother. I hate that. And I'm sending you the biggest of hugs. So maybe me telling some of my stories about growing up with my grandmother will bring you some sort of comfort, because it was some things she did and said that I didn't like in the moment. Not gonna front. Not gonna front. But when I got a little older, started having kids, when I got a husband, some of those things she taught me when I was younger start popping up. One of the many things that she taught me was, she said, baby, get a husband. You're going to have a husband. And she said, you're going to have a husband, you're going to be blessed with a lot of children. Your blessing is going to come in your children. And she said her granddaddy told her the same thing when she was little. So she told me the same thing. You're going to be blessed with a lot of children. That's where your blessing going to come in at, through your children. And she told me, she said, be careful, because you're going to have single women that will try to make you feel bad for being married. She said marriage is hard work. You're going to go through so much. You're going to go through pain. You're going to go through heartache. But she said a single woman will come and tear all that apart because she hates to see you married. She said, stay strong, Key. She always called me Key. Stay strong, Key, and understand that with all that pain, with all that you go through, it's gonna be something bigger in your life. And she used to tell me that a lot. Like, it's gonna be something bigger in your life. God is gonna bless you through your children. And she used to make me sit up under her all the time. It's like, I'd be like, I just want to go out here. I just want to. And she'll say, sit here with me for a minute. Sit here with me for a minute. And I watched her. But I share more stories with y'all about growing up with my mama Emma. Like I said in the beginning, I'm participating in Candy K all day 50 soft challenge. So I will be doing a live every day this week. And also a post every day this week. So if y'all want to join in on the challenge, it's a good challenge. I will admit, y'all know I love a good challenge. If you want to join in on the challenge, go over there to Candy K all day. It's Kendy, capital K, underscore, all underscore day. and she started this challenge, and I'm gonna do it. And I hope you guys join me and join Kenny K all day. But until next time, y'all know how I do it. Gracias por ver. Thanks for watching. Adios. Bye.